you now. We're going to be looking at how you've personally benefited from group coaching. So all about you now. Thank you.
I mean, the work benefits still flow into the personal benefits because the person is the one who is at work. But just to add on what I'd said earlier is that the group coaching has actually made me more self-aware. In terms of knowing who I am, knowing my personality and why things go the way they do because of my specific learning styles to start with. So I know I'm a reflector, I'm a theorist. So I know some things will have to go differently from, for example, how in the group Carol will do them. And also knowing that there are different learning styles out there, there are different personalities out there, has also made me more accommodative to others. So I wouldn't put someone off who's taking a long time to make a decision, but now I'd remember, oh, maybe they are just phlegmatics, they need more time, or they are activists, and that's how they respond to things. And then, of course, the other thing that covers all that, or I mean, how I behave and how I am would be my values. So it has also helped me like iron out what things are important to me. So for me, it was compassion, integrity, excellence, and inspiration. So those are the things that are important to me. So even in my interaction with others or in my thoughts, those would come out strongly. So I'd like to be associated with things that promote those values and disassociate myself from things that do not promote that. So practicing the values intentionally is a big plus for me, because initially you just do things and without really thinking through why and thinking through what effect that has on maybe someone around me or even on myself, for example. So if we consider excellence, because I've said that's a value, I would really be interested in making sure that what I do is excellent. So if I'm to start something, make sure that I finish, or make sure that it is done in a good manner or in a following the right procedure, because it's easy to start something and just stop in the middle. The other aspect is that I think I'm more open to feedback. I know sometimes it can be you think maybe someone has an ill motive towards you, or you're like, no, that's not correct feedback, but then it's just feedback. So the question is what I choose to do with the feedback, that's up to me. So either take it, implement changes, or just ignore it. Yeah. Initially I would just say, I mean, maybe block that out and let it slide. So now I'm even more thoughtful in my feedback, in how I talk to people, in how I give responses, and how I take time to listen to them and consider their side of the story. I guess with that comes the aspect of I'm now more, is it accommodating? When someone says a story, or I hear, the way you'd hear news even on the papers or in the television, or someone tells you something, I would also want to hear the other person's side of the story, because you realize sometimes, like Grace has mentioned, she has concluded something in her head, but that's not what that other person said. So if we say, I just had XYZ and I don't consider what the other person was thinking before I make a judgment, that would be unfair now for both parties. So it was interesting that I think a month ago I met someone and they were telling me how I think they had a rough patch with someone. So ideally someone would have told you, oh, it's because this person was doing this and this and this. So, but then they went like, no, I can't speak for them. Neither can I say anything, because they're not here to speak for themselves. So I'll just let it slide. You just see whatever you want to see, but they said that they are not going to put the other person in a situation that would make me maybe see them differently. So I was like, oh, that's really impressive. Most times you'd want to give your own opinion quickly and move on and leave the other person with a bad taste in the mouth. So in summary, that is being more self-aware and like continuously learning and continuously looking forward to improving myself and improving relationships around me. So it's still work in progress. I know it's we are not there. I'm not yet there, but there's still room to learn and room to grow.
Every day. Thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the impact on others, the perceptions of others, the grounding in values. And what I'm loving is to hear that how much you're learning from each other as well. That benefit of learning from each other, and the way we've been working has been you collectively come and let me know in advance what topic you want to choose, and then we look at that, don't we, and we have a topic that is your choice for you to explore. So, and even online we managed to do that quite well, don't we?
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. So Naomi, over to you then, please. So how have you personally benefited from group coaching?
I think Esther has summarized it quite well. But I think in addition, I'll just emphasize on the fact, the bit about the learning styles. I think for me, I still do, and I like to take a lot of time before I make a decision, because I'm evaluating all possible information that I have. But I also learned that in some instances, it's okay to actually just make a decision and then hope. So now when I'm interacting with others, mostly, okay, because we are home mostly, that's usually with my family, I'm now able to see that we actually paired very differently. So my husband is the activist. And he makes decisions very quickly, and I take a longer time. So it's helped me to understand myself in that sense, and then be able to express myself and say, it's not that I'm refusing to make a decision, or it's not that I'm not going to make a decision, but it just takes me a longer time to make it. And then that also makes me accept myself even better. Because before I would be like, why can't I just decide? Why is it so difficult for me? But now, having understood all that, then it makes things a little bit easier. So yeah, being able to understand others more is the benefit now that has translated to my personal life. And then of course, understanding one another in the group more, and gaining those friendships, plus other extra things that are apart from like, yeah, food wise.
Yeah.
Yes, we've been able to find opportunities to interact, of which if we were not doing this, we probably would have met maybe under other circumstances, but not to have those kind of conversations that we actually had when we are meeting, like off the group coaching session. So that for me has been a benefit, and it's nice. And it's also nice to know what goes on in different spheres, like for Grace and the gender stuff. Now there's more understanding on some of the things she's doing for Carol, and what do you call it, IP stuff. Then I understand at least better that way. So in my mind, again, because I like learning, then that has also expanded my sphere of knowledge. And of course, Esther, I think we are in a sort of related fields, but also even getting to know other aspects of each other that we wouldn't have known if we were not talking about the things that we talk about in the group session. For me, that has been an added learning in my, I can say now, in the personal sphere. In addition to what Esther has already said, yes.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm just seeing the picture at home now when decisions are being made in the family. Yeah. Wow, what a difference that must be, though. That must really reduce the stress levels within the household. Yeah, that understanding, that real insight into who we are and how it affects myself, my own self-awareness, and others around me. Wow. Excellent. Thank you. So very powerful. So Grace, what about you then, in terms of how you've personally benefited from group coaching?
So yeah, so now that Esther and Naomi are taking all the all the points from our heads, I guess Carol would have one left to share. But anyway, yeah, so in addition to what they've said, I think for me, one of the gains that I have had from this experience is the expansion of the networks. And just basing on what Naomi had said, because she understands what I am doing, she's able to quickly refer me to people who are looking for certain pieces of information. So the other day we met a lady called Watu, and we had, a lengthy conversation on how we can empower women, and Carol was part of it. So I looped her in as well. And so I guess it's because of the group coaching, we've come to understand each other, and that is a benefit. And therefore my networks has grown. The other day we attended Carol's presentation on Rotary in the Rotary Club, and just seeing what they do, and also seeing the members there, Carol telling me about a few people. Then there was also another presentation on IB, and her getting to share what she does. Again, people who are doing certain aspects of what marketing. And so that network has grown. And so that has been a personal benefit out of this group coaching. And I totally appreciate. On another light note, we got an air fryer because we have been going to Carol's for breakfast. Yeah, so we've come to appreciate the role of an air fryer in our kitchens.
There's something there I can learn, I'm sure, by the sounds of it. Yay.
Yeah, so I'll stop at that.
Isn't that lovely? So it's the self-awareness, the impact on others, the passing on to others, and the learning from each other, and that expanding that network is not something, wow, fantastic, wow. Yeah. Oh, last but by no means least then, Carol, how have you personally benefited from group coaching, apart from having to make breakfast? Clearly.
No, thank you, Fiona. I like the fact that Grace brought about the thing about the air fryer, and it's a good thing. And actually that directly speaks to I would say it speaks to our different personalities. So all of them took more than a month to make that decision. but my decision was once I got into the supermarket and I saw it and I swiped my card and I went home with an air fryer. So that's how I planned, and I bought my air fryer. And I mean, previously we have had these situations where Grace would be planning things, and I'm just sitting and wondering why. What's the importance of that? I mean, if it is a restaurant, just go. I mean, you will be wowed, you'll be disappointed, you'll be happy or not. But that is a decision to make as at that time. I personally call them decisions made by the future Caroline. And in this case, the future Caroline starts at any minute from now. So if I am right now to decide what I'm going to have for dinner, that is the future, that is not the current Caroline's energy, that is the future Caroline's energy. So and just understanding the differences in our personalities and how we react to things and how we plan things and how we implement things. It has been an amazing journey, I would say, and it has made me, I would say it has made me a better person and a better friend. I would like to imagine it has also made me a better siblings to my siblings, although they have not told me that yet, but we will find out. But it's one of those things that I would say I am openly now seeing how people react to things. Why, for instance, someone would like to plan for 5 days, or okay, not even 5 days, for 3 months to go on a holiday. And for me, it's going to be 3 days to go on a holiday. And then that's it. You know, just that simple understanding, it as well reduces the amount of, you know, misunderstandings and how and why someone is upset, that you did not take too much time to think about their ask or something like that. That understanding for me, it has made me appreciate who I am better, and also appreciate the people who are in my life as well. And I would say through this group coaching, I would say I have gained 2 other friends. Actually, they call me their sister.
Oh,
So yes, I am. I would say I'm a de facto a de facto family member. So so it's an open secret, but it's again it is it's a good thing because it opens up the networks. It opens up the opportunities that I would have. Someone who would see something that would be beneficial to me, they'd send it over, or just have a question about something that I do, something that would be small according to me, but a big thing according to them. It's something that I can address. Just opening those doors, I think that is what life is all about. I mean, I would say it's a social capital that we don't really talk about, but it has made me a good person, I would say. I'm kinder to myself these days. I'm not as harsh. Before, I was very opinionated and judgmental, even to myself, and it would feel like, you know, feeling like I am failing at doing things, yet I am doing so many other things and I'm doing them well. What Naomi was saying, how someone would think, I have not done anything today. But when you actually sit down and realize and like itemize them, you realize actually you have done things. It's just that you have this thing, this big picture in your mind that that is how things are supposed to be. And so if they are not like that, then the answer is, you know, on this other end, that you've not done anything. And that's a good thing, because it is what humanity and what human beings are about. I don't think we are straight jackets, that we are some, you know, into some structure, even when the society tells us that we have to fit in those structures. I think allowing myself to be, you know, fluid in terms of the social structure, it's been an amazing journey. So yeah, and everything else that the 3 ladies have said, I would fully associate myself with them. I think I have I have become, you know, also more self-aware of how I make decisions, because right now I am aware that I don't take time or reflect too much on things that I'm going to buy. So now when I have to buy something, I have to ask myself, what would Grace do? And pause, you know, like for 30 minutes, and then, you know, like think about the pros and cons. Okay, of course, I'll end up making the decision a little bit faster than she would, but that just that process, and appreciating why it is there, I think it's yeah, it's a way of growing also as a person, because not to say that we, you know, the decisions that we are making are the best decisions that are there. So yeah, learning how to make those other decisions, how someone else would also make those decisions. So it's definitely a plus. So it's been an amazing journey, and I look forward to continuing with it. I mean, it's something that I actually, like today in the morning, I was remembering, oh yeah, today I have a meeting at 3:30. So it's something that you have to plan and clear everything. Anyone who's calling, wait, I finish and then I'll get back to them. So it's a commitment as well. So it's a beautiful journey, I would say.
Wow. Well, thank you everyone. Who'd have thought we'd have opened all these doors and windows into your lives, into your work area, into each other's. It's just been phenomenal. So I want to say a huge thank you to Grace for taking on the gift of the opportunity, and for you all having belief in that this could help, and then for going on our journey together. And my goodness, we've got lots more to do. Not so much do, but to share, I think, and learn. I'm going to start learning from you. I can hear it already. I can hear things. Oh, air fryer. I want to hear about what you've been doing in your PhD, and for me, it's always that huge win-win of being part of one of these groups. So thank you, genuinely, from my heart. One, for being part of this. Two, for growing and taking it on board and making it work for you, and for wanting to continue. So I encourage you to think about how you're going to open these doors going forward for others to benefit. Maybe we make that one of our group coaching sessions one day.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
thank you for the great facilitation. Constant great facilitation.